Today we have the largest generic drug manufacturer in the world, that's Teva Pharmaceuticals, and their CEO, Kare Schultz. So Kare, I just wanted to start, it was a little bit of a disappointing quarter this morning, and I was hoping for you to elaborate on comments you made this morning about there being a trough in generics and what you mean by that.
Yeah, so I still think we had a good quarter. The fourth quarter of last year, we met all the guidance we gave. So that in itself was good. Where I think you saw a bit of a reaction was that the consensus of TheStreet was a higher expectation for 2019 than what we came out with in our guidance. And when I talk about a trough, it's really a trough on total revenue and a trough on earnings. And it has really nothing to do with the US generics. US generics have actually stabilized, which is extremely positive. But we do have a situation where our biggest product, Copaxone, went off patent last year, and that product is going down in revenues. And then we have two fantastic products we've launched, Austedo, which is for Huntington's disease, tardive dyskinesia for movement disorders, and Ajovy, which is a new preventive therapy for migraine. Those products are going up. But this year, the drag from Copaxone is bigger, so there's a bigger drag from Copaxone than the growth of the new products. Once we get to 2020, it will reverse itself because the absolute drag from Copaxone gets smaller and the growth of the new products gets bigger.
So I did want to touch on that. So the rebound timeline for you is 2020, so this entire year is going to be a little bit tougher?
You can say that we'll have the same tough situation this year as we had last year with the loss of revenue on Copaxone that has gone generic. But we do see the growth of the new launches, which is positive. It's just the balance right now between the, let's say, $900 million we lose on Copaxone versus what we gain on the new drugs this year just means that the balance is the wrong way, and then next year it tips around and we get a positive balance.
Interesting. And actually I did have the read-through from Wells Fargo. They were saying that the Ajovy is picking up well and beating competitors from Eli Lilly, for example. I was curious, is that going to be the next trajectory that's going to kind of buoy from those lower numbers from Copaxone and some of those traditional drugs that have been your main revenue drivers?
Yeah, that's one of the elements. Of course, the new products are what can really drive growth in revenue, but it's equally important that nothing drops, so to speak. In the last 5 years, you've seen US generics dropping, but now in the last 2 quarters of 2018, we've seen US generic market sort of flattening out in value, maintaining its value. You also see it in our numbers. We had very stable US generic sales in third quarter and fourth quarter, so we're seeing a whole stabilization in the US generics market, which is very positive for us.
Definitely, if it could stabilize. But one of the things that's Teva specific was I had a Moody's note here as well that said that erosion of Copaxone and also ProAir, the inhaler product, from competition will make it difficult to deleverage the company. I was wondering what your reaction is to that statement from the ratings agency, and then how you're looking to reduce costs and delever the company.
Yeah, so I think it's not exactly correct how they stated. We are delevering aggressively. We've gone from a debt a year and a half ago of $35 billion to now a debt of $27 billion. So that's a big reduction, and we'll continue to take down the debt. Of course, the speed per year depends a little bit on the maturities, how much do we need to pay back, and our cash flow. But we are totally committed to paying down the debt, and we've set out a long-term financial target of getting to a net debt to EBITDA ratio below 3, and we expect to get that within the 3 to 5 year time frame, and there's no change to that plan.
Interesting, and you're in the midst of a restructuring plan that's obviously ongoing. I was wondering, does this earnings with the Trough comments and restructuring programs, does that set in the floor for you to continue to restructure and build shareholder value from here?
You could say, I think I've been building shareholder value from the day I started. I think the share was around $11 when I started. So, but I will continue to build it. And the thing about the trough, I said that already a year ago, so it's nothing new. So basically the short version is we're following the plan, and the plan will create shareholder value. Good.
Well, we'll certainly be looking at Teva. It's one of the biggest the biggest name in generic manufacturers, and it is actually up still significantly from its December 24th trough that it had last year as well. So keep that in mind as you look at the stock. And we thank Kare very much for being here, and I look forward to hearing more about the restructuring plan as it materializes.
Thank you very much.